Hello. Let's talk a little bit about things to avoid in the trying times with our children. Feeling fed up as a parent is common, and especially common during challenging times with our kids. And it's at these times that we sometimes do some things in our parenting that we're best to avoid doing, such as threatening, nagging our children, using humiliation or sarcasm, or being overly controlling and intrusive. And we're going to talk about each of these now, and then we're going to talk about some things that we should do. So some things that we should avoid, and then some things that we should maybe consider implementing as a parent. So it's pretty obvious with threatening. When a child continues to ignore instructions, parents will often get angry and respond with an unfair consequence or punishment that they either have no intention of following through with or that they angrily do enact, teaching their child fear rather than good judgment. Sensible, logical consequences are simple, moderate, realistic, and immediate. For example, we can say, "You are still ignoring me, so I'm turning off the television until the craft project is cleaned up." Nagging is another one of those parenting tricks that we want to avoid, right? Nagging often looks like a series of repeated requests or instructions and empty threats that can escalate into a screaming match before our child does as we want them to. And these escalation traps can be avoided by remembering the rule of thumb for instruction giving and remaining calm and clear in your expectations. Another key to get out of the negative cycle of nagging is to actively incorporate acknowledgement. And you guys that know me well know that this is a big one for me, that what we want to do is we want to see your child's good work and make specific comments to let them know you see them. Humiliation and sarcasm is another big parenting no. Some parents, when they're frustrated, find themselves making statements about their child's character rather than their behaviour. For example, "You're careless," or "You're mean." Children's brains are extremely literal, so when they hear comments like this, they feel as though this is genuinely who they are. And we behave according to how we think we are, or to who we think we are. And this sort of language and behaviour can also create greater hostility and rivalry between siblings, which may actually result in setting up the other children to take the fall. Control and intrusion are another of those parenting traps that we want to avoid, because in challenging situations, parents can at times respond by becoming stricter or more controlling with their kids, bombarding them with harsh instruction. And when kids are pushed hard, they ultimately push back with similar intensity, and they stop wanting to be on the same team as us. So if you catch yourself threatening, nagging, humiliating, being controlling or intrusive, chances are you might need a minute to cool down before dealing with the situation at hand. We've all been there. There's no shame in it. Step back, take a breath, and do whatever is necessary to find your cool before responding to the issue you're facing with your kid. The essentials in trying times are to be consistent. And by being consistent, your child knows what they're expected to do and what happens if they behave inconsiderately. We want to make promises we can keep. Sometimes you need to change your decisions in certain things, but make sure that you explain the reasons simply and concisely if you change your mind. Use logical and fair consequences. Punishment is bad for so many reasons, and I've covered this a lot in different YouTube posts and in my online courses. Consequences must not be humiliating. They should relate to the inconsiderate behaviour. They should be simple and moderate and should be followed through with as soon as possible. The withdrawal or limiting of affection should never be used. So what do we want to do? We want to follow through. We want to mean what we say and act on it. Threats of consequences are not nearly as effective as followed through with a discussed consequence. And ultimately, they feed into an escalation trap which only serves to increase the stress for kids and us parents Remember, kids learn best from experiencing something themselves. We need to see and feel the consequences of our actions. As a parent, we've got to set clear expectations and really ensure that the expectations you have for your child's behaviour are reasonable for their age and capacity, and consider their current physical and emotional state. We want to acknowledge good work. If you notice that you're needing to set a lot of consequences, make sure you dial up the acknowledgements in equal proportion. Kids who are acting out a lot need lots of acknowledgement. It's when we want to push our kids away that we want to bring them in close. Remember, it's completely normal to feel fed up at times, but how you respond to these feelings is what matters the most. By taking proactive steps to manage your emotions, seek support, and approach situations with a positive mindset, you can navigate the challenges of parenting more effectively. I wish you such joy in this journey, and I'll see you soon. Bye.